Hello, this is Max again. This is Tuesday, April 28th, and this is segment number 22 of my YouTube Bible study. And it's kind of weird. I feel kind of embarrassed. I made a mistake. I missed a segment of the Bible of Matthew on my last one, but both the segment I missed and the next segment go perfectly together. So it's going to be Matthew 19, 21, and 24. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust consume, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And no one can serve two masters. For a slave will either hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and wealth, or God and mammon. Now it's kind of, as you know by watching my YouTube, I have recently come back to God. I've recently been born again. And the odd thing was, when that happened, I became more socially conservative, but more economically liberal. And I mean, reading Matthew and Luke and Mark, reading the Bible, reading this, I can't see why some of the biggest Christians and Christian names are hugely fiscally conservative. We have a huge income inequality gap in this country. The top 5%, this is off of the U.S. Census Bureau, has like $167,000 or more a year. The top 1% have $350,000 or more a year. And the bottom 25 have $0 to $22,000 a year. The middle 20 has 35 to 55. Now, I hope you're still watching. I hope I'm not boring you with statistics. I don't understand. I'm not an economist. But I'm a Christian. And I believe that we're trying to do both. We are trying to serve God, or at least the fundamentalists, the Republican Christians, are trying to serve God and serve their bank accounts. Trying to serve themselves and God. You can't do that. Yes, God will bless us. God blesses those who He blesses. But we should not get rich at the expense of the poor. We should not exploit. We should not have policies that favor businessmen, HMO executives, over the common man. We should not have tax policy and tax cuts that favor the very rich, but not the common man. Trickle down economics may be Reagan-esque, but it's not biblical. It's not. Trickle down economics is not biblical. I mean, former President Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush, was right when he called it voodoo economics. And they're now trying to raise the limit of the death tax from 7 to 10 million. That's exempt. Now, that storing treasures. Do not store up for yourself treasures on earth, where moth and rust consume and where thieves break in and steal. We don't need mansions. We don't need jets. When people are starving, we don't need this. I mean, I believe this economic crisis is God punishing us for our hubris, for our lack of compassion. And, I mean, people like Glenn Beck, Newt Gingrich, Pat Buchanan talking about the end of a Christian America. If this was a Christian nation, we would be taking care of the lesser among us. I mean, Christianity is basically split into two parties. You have those who care about the lesser among us in the Democratic Party, and you have those that care about social issues like abortion, sexual immorality on the other. Unfortunately, the fiscal conservatives made a marriage of convenience, basically and the social conservatives made a deal with basically the devil, in my opinion, basically saying that, you know what, we won't take care, we won't. The poor, they deserve their plight. They weren't working hard enough, although they're from the wrong part of town, the wrong social structure. I mean, people say about class warfare, but what is policies that favor the rich and hurt the poor but class warfare? I mean, we're Christians. I mean, I understand the pagan world, the fallen world should be doing this, should be worshiping the Tao, worshiping money, and not loving their fellow man. But not us! We're Christians. We're better than that. We are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. But we are the city on the hill. But when that city on the hill has cannons, when that city of the hill knocks down the people trying to get up to that hill, when the light is not the light of God, but the light, the blinding torchlights of oppression, or the salt turns to poison. We have fallen. And I know, and the thing is, I'm not saying all Christianity, because thankfully I've seen that this is a false Christianity. I have seen that Christianity is taking care of the homeless. Christianity is spreading the word that there is a better kingdom coming. That your persecution, your being held down by the corrupt elite power structure won't last forever. The Pharisees made a corrupt deal with Rome. They kept their power, they kept their religious power, but they also colluded, made the temple a marketplace, a house of thieves, and they became rich, while the rest of the Jews, normal rank and file, starved and were very, very poor. Now we have the corporations and big business, and we have the mega churches and the mega pastors getting rich from this collusion. We're so much better than this, really. God bless.